Hello Nige and welcome to the Metal Twilight Zone radio show.
Thank you. Welcome.
What's the latest news from the band?
Just kind of 3/4 of the way through the Full Force tour at the moment. Back here in Thessaloniki after probably 3 or 4 years maybe. Maybe even 5, I don't know. Looking forward to tonight's show. Tour's been great so far. I think we've got about 6 dates left now before we go into the studio and start working on the new album.
You released your... It's my next question. You released your latest album, Sounds of Violence, almost 2 years ago. How long we have to wait for some new stuff? Do you have any?
Oh yes, nearly. The album's nearly written now. I think we're scheduling for a May 2013 release. So yeah, we're in the final stages. It's all sounding very good and very angry, very heavy, and a next step on from the Sounds of Violence album.
How are you going on tour until today?
How's it going? It's been very good. We obviously toured Europe after the release of Sounds of Violence, so we decided to come out with a slightly different angle on this tour and play the Full Force album. Obviously fans have been asking us to do this for many years, so we thought rather than go out and play the same kind of set as what we did previously, we'd come out and play this album in its entirety with a few other tracks mixed in. It's going well. It's very good.
Why Andy Roser Davis didn't follow you on tour? What happened?
Just some personal problems in his life. Obviously I'm not in a position to discuss, so that's but I'm looking forward to getting back writing with him when we get back. We've got one song to finish off, and then, so we're back in the studio together when I get back.
I know that the first album will be re-released via AFM Records. Will you give us some more details? The only thing I know is that you recorded Metal Forces as a bonus track.
Yeah, it's still not finished yet. We got all the tracks done, but we haven't mixed it. I'm not sure when the album's being re-released. I think it's being remastered, and there's some extra sleeve notes on and stuff, little stories about when we recorded the album. So that'd be nice. Yeah, but we have re-recorded Metal Forces with the current lineup, obviously, to just as a little kind of bonus, you know. Sounds good.
It has been said that by the rebirth of thrash metal, mostly the old bands had made profit. How are things with Onslaught?
Okay. I mean, things within the music industry aren't ever going to be like they were back in the 80s and 90s, purely because of the illegal downloading situation with album sales, and I think basically bands are losing kind of 90% of sales of what they did back in those days. So it's no longer a full-time profession for us. I mean, obviously bands like Iron Maiden and things like that, they can, because they play such massive shows. But for bands like us and all the other thrash bands, I guess it's kind of tough to make a full-time living out of it now. So we've got to mix it up with other work as well to get by. But we're doing okay. It's a nice little a side thing, you know.
UK used to have lots of thrash bands in the 80s, like you, Acid Rain, Zendrix, Deathwish, Toranaga, etc. And in this way there was the term English thrash scene. Do you believe that something like that is possible to happen nowadays with new groups like Evil and you in charge?
No, not in the UK. I don't think the scene's not that great there, to be honest. There's a few good young bands, but I don't think there's not the fan base there for it in the UK anymore, like there is in mainland Europe and South America and stuff like that. So I can't really ever see there being a big scene like there was back in the 80s now.
At 1988 you released the In Search of Sanity album with Steve Grimmett on vocals. It was a catchy album, but the classic Onslaught fans were disappointed. What do you believe went wrong?
We basically signed to the wrong record label. We had a choice of 3 or 4 labels to sign to. London Records had just released Faith No More album, and they'd licensed Rain in Blood, Slayer. I guess that kind of swayed us to sign with them, and it was a mistake, really. They weren't really a metal-based label. They were more of a pop music-based label, and they were trying to get in on the metal scene when it was trendy, you know. I think they really didn't know how to mold us, and they tried to turn us into something smooth and slick. It was going to sell 2 million albums straight away, instead of building the band's fan base and letting us do it our way. They wanted immediate massive returns, and that was never going to happen. And whilst Steve Grimmett was a great singer, I don't think he was really the guy for Onslaught as well. And it was all kind of record company manipulation, you know. And even though the album sold a lot of records, there were some great songs on it. But if they'd have let us produce it our way, it would have sounded Onslaught, you know. The demos of those songs sounded really heavy and raw, but I think it was too polished and stripped all the kind of aggression out of the songs, you know. So it kind of sounded too distant from the force for the next album. It was not really a typical sounding Onslaught record.
I heard that Steve Grimmett is going to be on tour playing songs from In Search of Sanity album. Is it true?
I don't know. I find it kind of weird. They're all my songs. I wrote all the songs, so I kind of find it strange why these guys are out playing somebody else's songs, you know. I think they should go and write their own.
What do you think when you remember the 80s, since Onslaught is a part of them?
Some of it's quite of a blur, actually. It was a great time for metal. I mean, some of the standout points for me were going on tour with Motorhead, where we learnt an incredible amount from those guys. Like they taught us how to live on the road and how to respect people on the road, and it was an amazing tour. But it was just a blur. There was so much going on all the time between like 85 and 89. Like it was an amazing period for music, and metal in particular. Like very fond memories of those days. But I mean, that's not to say now isn't very good. I mean, things are getting really much stronger again for thrash over the last 3 or 4 years. And apart from the slight problems with the financial climate around the world, which is kind of slowing things down, it's been really good.
And finally, do you want to send a message for your fans here in Greece?
Of course. We love coming back to Greece. Every time we've been here, it's been absolutely crazy. We played in Athens last night. It's fantastic. And I'm hoping the same from Thessaloniki tonight. Last time we came, it was a super crazy show, and it'd be great if it's the same again tonight. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. See you later on stage.